It's a cold day today. I think it's around 28 degrees this morning, and it's tournament time. Heading into Kroger right now to find myself a gator, because the face needs to get covered a little bit. Hopefully I can find one here or somewhere else, and some drinks and everything for the rest of the day. See you in there. It's our beautiful new Kroger, brand new, one of the biggest in Tennessee, I believe. Gotta love it. Energy drinks, let's go. Man, this place is huge. Kind of don't know what to do with myself, but yeah. It sounds like I'm from like some rinky-dink small town. I'm not, but this is just a lot bigger than what I'm used to. One thing during around, gotta get snacks. I feel like snacks are a very underrated part of that, and boy loves that sugar. And goods have been acquired. Energy drink, candy snacks, more. It's not Mio. It's the Kroger brand Mio, you know. But couldn't find face covering. That sucks, but we'll fight through. It's alright. Alright, Mark, what's your goal for today?
Not suck.
That's good goal.
You know, I try to make them achievable, but you know, sometimes even that doesn't work.
Ready for the cold. What's up, guys?
How you doing, bro?
Doing good? Ready? Goal for today is to win. And Mark is to not suck. But, you know, that's just how it's going to be.
Hey, set achievable goals, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think my goal is very achievable. But we'll see how it goes when I putt today. That'll be really the deciding factor.
I don't think it's going to.
Loves throwing that into a tree. You're just gonna make this anyways. Parachute putt? Not close. It is cold. Glad I brought 2 jackets, but this would be an interesting round because it's the first time playing fully with this thing on. Yay, PCL, ACL, some ligament in there. Like that.
Bother.
That's not it.
I don't know.
Good thing we're practicing.
If you're going for the tree, it was.
Let's do another one. There we go. Oof, ace run.
Nope.
Come on, Mark.
Nothing but player 2 today. Player 1 is not been good.
When you threw this, how was it?
Oh, the hex, it's pretty straight to finish, and it finishes pretty well.
Probably too straight for that shot. Yeah, and that's it. Little leafy leaf.
Oh my goodness. Looks like my releasing late issues have not changed at all.
Do another one.
Slow footwork, apparently. There, slow footwork.
There you go.
She was killing.
First hex went pretty dead on. Basket there. Then pyro right there. So looks like I have a dealer's choice. Just not mess with the shot. All right, just got back from lunch. Round one's in the books. Shot a pretty decent 5 down in the wind and cold. Really took me a few holes to get acclimated to everything. I think I ended up bogeying the first hole and then missing a like 20-ish uphill foot putt. Don't really hate that I missed it, but really wanted it back. And so my round, I thought, oh man, this is gonna be a long day. Ended up not being too bad. I ended up on my back 9, ended up shooting, I think, 5 down with that, and it felt pretty good to come in. The guy on my card, he was lighting it up from outside the circle. I bet I saw him hit at least 2 75-footers and at least 2 50-footers, and he was just lighting it up from circle 2, and it was awesome to watch. I love it. Like, yes, I want to win, but I love it seeing other players play like that and getting those kinds of shots, because it's just fun to witness, you know. All right, about to go change. Fell in some mud. Got some dried up mud on my pants. So biggest thing though, if you're in a tournament, it's be wet, soggy, cold, everything, extra pants, shirt, socks, shoes, etc. Have it all, because next round you can have fresh mindset, fresh set of clothes, not having to deal with that kind of stuff. All right, see you guys later. All right, it's getting windy out here now for round 2 on the north side of Vladimir Lakes. Distance drivers are going to be a big deal, and the wind's going to be a big deal. So I think if I shoot even a couple down, I very well might be in contention, as long as I can rely on some good distance shots and reliable distance shots. So we'll see what happens.
I had a better angle, maybe. It was kind of just midway.
Chase card of MPO, watching a little bit of action before we get done. All right, back in the editing bay today. I really didn't get a good recap of the final round, and I'll try to kind of explain it now, because just got super busy hanging out with some friends, old friends, Kellen, Jose and all that. They came down from Jonesboro, Arkansas, talked to them, got to meet some new people, and really enjoyed just the festivities afterwards. It wasn't really festivities, just talking, and I kind of didn't want to film any of that sort of deal, kind of private, things how they go. But like I said, coming into it, I was 3 back of the leader, and I felt good after round 1. My putting was a little shaky. I'll tell you a little bit of the reason why a little bit later. But after my first hole, I think I went birdie. No. Scrap that. Not birdie. The leader went birdie, and I went par. So that 3-stroke lead went to a 5-stroke lead really quickly. And so I was kind of a little disheartened. And what in my mind was like, okay, maybe I just need to try to press a little bit, try to get this our next 2 holes were par 4 and a par 5. If I get decent shots off the tee, I can birdie both those pretty straightforwardly. Didn't get the first par 4 we had. Got the par 5 though. So it happened, my card mate, the leader, he ended up taking a 7 while I took a 4, so that was a 3-stroke swing. So in that that moment, I was back to 2, I was to 2 back only. So, and then I was like, okay, maybe I can keep this rolling. Kept it rolling, went par the next hole, and he went par as well. But hole 17 comes, and I'm feeling really good with my forehand, going with a forehand, and I make the putt. 25-footer-ish, 25-footer, and felt solid. Everything was great, but he was also pretty close, maybe 15 feet, made the putt. Like I said earlier, he was an amazing putter, inside and outside the circle. And so going into this, I'm either gaining a stroke, losing a stroke, back and forth. So on 18, I throw into the wooded area and pitch up an upshot I thought was good. And it was good, but I ended up maybe 20-ish feet. Putt, hits chains, hits side of cage, comes out, a little disheartened there. He takes a par. He takes that par, and I'm starting to get that anxiety, that pressure of like, what am I doing, right? And so as I go, he, I think he ends up parring hole 1, which is that next hole, and that I also par, but we were both in contention for birdies. It's a very eagleable par 4, and we both ended up just missing our 2 putts in a row, and it was just awful. And I think what started to happen is that we were going out into the open, and then the wind and the frigid cold started to pick up again. Not the cold, it was cold, but the wind started to pick up since we were in the open. And so then I go ahead and take my pars. I'm like 2 to 3 strokes back. Similar situation. Hole 2 comes. 2 is the turning point. I believe I actually throw out of bounds immediately, but end up pitching up for my 5 on a par 4. So it happens, he takes a 7, I think, going out of bounds once and missing a few putts. This is where I'm like, oh wait, maybe I need to just sit back and play par golf. Because at Latimer North, there's a lot of par 4s, par 5s, but once it gets windy, making mistakes is huge. It's not a forgiving course if you make little mistakes. There's a lot of OB, there's a lot of wooded areas, and there was a lot of wind that day, or today, when I'm speaking of it. So, coming next few holes, end up par, and as we keep going, I feel like we would both par the same holes, and so I would still be that 1 or 2 strokes behind him, but I kept playing safe. I kept playing solid. And at this point, in the next few holes, I take a bogey, but then he also takes another 7, which is crazy. And it fully came in for me to go back into contention, and I think we get tied up at one point. And by that time, I think he was just disheartened enough that nothing was really working, that I wouldn't say he gave up. I would say he sort of let the wheel kind of unraveled, right? And I in my mind, I know I'm a competitor and I wanted to win. And I was really going into it, but it kind of felt icky. I'm not gonna lie, kind of felt like I was like, man, I really don't want him to play this way and for me to win this way, right? And I think by the very end of it, I ended up getting another 2 or 3 strokes by the next last 3 holes, and it's really sealing it off for everybody on the cards back from us from the win. And I went to myself and said, hey, I know that, you know, this win, it wasn't a dominant finish, but you stuck with it and you didn't unravel even after seeing the leader come in and, you know, have the wheels fall off. You didn't go with you. So that kind of flipped a switch in me where saying, okay, don't feel bad about the win. You won, you did good, right? But now you know, hey, if you play steady golf, that's one way of getting things done. You know, sometimes it is a way of let your opponents make the mistakes and you capitalize on the ones you can, right? And that's what I felt like I was doing. I ended up shooting, I think, +1, which even on that course was like 960 rated. So +1 on that course is 960 rated. That's pretty tough for most courses out there, non-including like Pro Tour level style courses, you know. But no, I felt great, and after that, it kind of all sank in of like, man, first tournament of the year, signed up maybe like a week before, not really expecting anything, and came out with a win. And you know, I can't say it enough, like, I need this momentum to go on, and hopefully it'll lead me to better things. So this more than likely will be my last tournament at MA1. Maybe my next tournament, I'll do one more MA1. I'm trying to get another W, but I'm going to try to come back and play MPO again. That's a whole another story. For that. But I'm sorry, I'm just rambling. But the one thing I said I'll circle back to earlier of why I felt like my putt was a little off was because I was putting with the champs. And you say, Luke, why would you putt with almost a brand new putter in a tournament? I'm crazy. I don't know why I do these things. I have so many discs. I switch up my bag all the time. I think I made it in the bag earlier this past like winter, and I feel like I have none of those discs in my bag right now. And I have literal companies worth of discs that I can make bags with to have every kind of slot. And maybe I'm just a sucker for throwing new stuff. The disc market really has me like hook, line, sinker. It's probably not a good thing. But that's just to wrap it up. And with these champs, these feel great. One thing I do like is that the profile is kind of thinner than a Casey Aviar, which I'm sure he had some sort of some sort of hand in making it seem in that similar profile but thinner. But the one thing that surprised me was how much glide it had, and that's what was throwing me off. I was used to more dumpy and just kind of throw flat and it goes flat and sticking putters. Well, this one, it went and then kind of would air bounce sometimes, and the wind would take it a little bit. It was windy, but these were so much glidier than I expected, and it was kind of crazy to think about, and trying to adjust everything with that. And I finally did get adjusted during my, like halfway through my first round and most of my second round. I ended up using a more overstable putter just because I knew the wind was what I use. I ended up using, I think, these Penroses. These ones were a little bit better in the wind for me. And so if you know me, there's a reason this channel is called Turbo Tap-Ins, and within 15 to 20 feet, I turbo all my putts. It's a weird thing, but that 15 to 20 footers, somehow a regular putt just doesn't feel right, and I just have terrible releases. And you know, turbo putting from that distance just does it for me. And so that's just kind of how it is. And that's how the name Turbo Tap-Ins actually came about. Is I switched maybe 2 or 3 years ago. One of my friends, Paul, we had a round, and I only turboed that whole round, and we were partners in doubles, and we ended up, I think, winning or getting close to winning. And he was like, I didn't even have to putt. You just turboed everything and it made it. So it was kind of what got me into that thing. So inside the circle, pretty much mostly turbos. Once it gets about that 25-ish feet and out, I'll go to regular kind of spin push putt. But yeah, Turbo Tap-Ins. That's the origin right there. But that's gonna wrap it up for the rest of this video.